What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I'm going live today. I took a break yesterday. I've been really congested and just all kinds of messed up, and it's not a COVID thing. My wife is convinced it's allergies, but I don't know why. It's just the weather keeps changing. And so it's just been kicking my butt. And I'm just all kinds of weirdness. So, but anyway, why is this the FUD channel now? No, it's not a FUD channel, you moon boy. Finally made it on time for a live stream. Good afternoon to you as well, Luis. Non-financial advice. Never. I don't give financial advice. I get a lot of people to try. I get so many people offering to pay me to like consult with them privately and so forth, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like it's just not, it's not something I'll ever do. I'm not licensed for it, and I just don't want any trouble. I speak my opinions. I always share what I do and what my thoughts are right here on this channel. You don't have to pay me for private lessons. I'm not teaching jujitsu. It is what it is. So allergies are the worst this year. Yeah, they're really, really bad. Love you too. So my first live stream, well, welcome Crypto Chef. A lot going on. Listen, and I do want to preface this by saying that nothing I say on this channel is a guarantee. It's just not. It's not. Anything that you do is risky. Any move you make in the market is risky. It's just the way it is. So don't take my advice. You got to form your own opinion. But I just share what I see, and I share. Think of me like a palm reader. I mean, it's that simple. I'll look at your palm and I'll be like, oh yeah, you're gonna live to be 1,000 years old. You're gonna have a very happy life. I see trouble sometime within the next 2 years. I see something bad happening. I mean, who gives a shit? I just call it how I see it, and whatever happens, happens. As I always say, it is what it is. All right, so we're going to go over a little bit of some different stuff, something fun, and then I'm going to go over why I think there's a big dump coming. Looking at Crow Trader, I'm really, really contemplating setting up Coinbase and using Coinbase for Crow Trader, because Binance US, it's not that it's a bad exchange. There's just not a lot to trade, and I feel like there's so much opportunity with this bot. And because I can't use Binance, I've got guys in my Telegram with hundreds and hundreds of profitable trades using Crow Trader, but they're able to use Binance. And because I'm in the US, I can't. So which really sucks for me, because when I'm trying to show everybody how powerful this bot is, I'm sitting here looking at a few pairs and only 9 profitable trades so far in the last 7 days. And I'm like, this isn't helping me. So I'm thinking about setting up Coinbase and using Coinbase, because there are a lot more pairs and things I can trade. The fees are a little higher, but it is what it is. I think I can get through them, especially with the DCA and everything else. So I'm contemplating that, but we'll see. Now, first thing I want to discuss here is this. Let me zoom out. All right. So Tesla now accepts Bitcoin. Won't sell Bitcoin for USD. So, and this is just a headline I'm going to show. I'm not even going to get deep into the article because it's not a big deal. But the idea, this is something that I want to address. There are a lot of companies that have been moving into accepting Bitcoin or even altcoins at point of sale for a variety of different things. And while the volume that I expect Tesla to get, especially by the peak of this market, like I think Tesla's likely going to have a record year, especially if they get their new, super Tesla out before the peak of the market. They're probably going to sell a kajillion of them. Stock's probably going to go crazy. The valuation of Bitcoin's obviously going to rise. But here's the thing. I see a lot of people, and they're like, oh, look at this company, they're accepting crypto. Look at this company, they're accepting crypto. The very idea that companies accept crypto isn't really a big deal. It really isn't. It's the companies that accept crypto and hold it. That's the big deal. This is the first time I've seen a company announce, hey, we want the Bitcoin and we're not going to sell it to USD. And the reason for this is because, generally speaking, like if you go to a, like, let's just say a car dealership might use something like BitGo or something like that, where you can buy the car in Bitcoin, but it's instantly converted into fiat. All you're doing is creating your own sell pressure. So the more of these companies that are quote unquote accepting Bitcoin or cryptocurrency at point of sale, all that means is it's giving you an out. It's giving you an opportunity to quickly sell and almost seamlessly sell your cryptocurrency for a product or service. But it's creating sell pressure, because the more people that do that, these transactions are then completed on an exchange. So it's not the idea of companies they're not adopting crypto. They're just opening their market to crypto holders. But ultimately, they're just converting it immediately into fiat currency. And a lot of these companies have to, because they have to account for them on their books and their financials. And it's definitely going to be something that I think we're going to see. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more companies accept cryptocurrency for payments. But I think by the next, like throughout the next bear to bull cycle, I think is when we're going to start seeing a lot more companies just transacting in cryptocurrency, not just accepting it, converting it into fiat, creating sell pressure. But yeah, that's what I see happening. Quick fun thing: how to use twistedtimes.io social memes online. So a lot of you guys know by now that I've been working with some artists on creating a series of 24 NFTs called twistedtimes.io. And basically a big part of this is going to have a treasure hunt. So when people acquire these cards, they're going to unlock a link or a code or something. They're going to have to put it all together, decipher it, figure it all out. I actually just paid a lawyer to advise me on how to structure this to make sure that it's like not considered a lottery, that it's totally up and up, it's totally legal. But this is, I got it all figured out, and it's going to be sweet. So now I'm just waiting on all the artwork to be done. You've got Fiat Frankie, which I don't know why it's so small, but Fiat Frankie, you can see in 2019 he wasn't doing too bad, but now in 2021 he's fading away, kind of like a scene from Back to the Future. So that was kind of fun. And then you've got Ethereum, which let's just face it, Ethereum is you got a bunch of people who've paid their transaction fees. They're just waiting for confirmation. It's slow. You got this old dude who's wearing an Ethereum shirt. But, you know, basically the idea of these memes are to help you in arguments. You know, is somebody out there, are you seeing someone constantly posting hateful memes and starting arguments in which they post articles with headlines they think support their bogus claims, while the article actually does nothing of the sort? But they don't know this because they didn't read they didn't read past the headline. When confronted with the facts, they simply turn to angry insults or run away altogether. Brainwashed people whose perspective has been long established by major media likely need a taste of this meme. Lefty Lucy. I know some of you guys are going to be pissed and you're going to hate me for these, but they're all meant to be kind of funny, tongue-in-cheek. It's all parody, but you got Offensive Oliver, basically just a normal dude who's like, I don't even know what I did wrong, but everybody just wants to like burn him at the stake. Like, it's just funny, and it's a part of twisted times. We are in very twisted times right now. But anyway, you can download these, and they're kind of labeled. Don't change them, but you can download these and you can throw them on Facebook, Twitter, anytime it'll help an argument, or you just want to fight fire with fire. I'm seeing so many people fighting in arguments with memes, so we're going to provide a lot of fun ones that we can use as counters. So yeah, that'll be fun. Now let's look at Bitcoin first. This is what I see happening. Now, I actually left a lot of stuff up. I do a lot of different things I generally don't show on this channel, but so if we look at the pi cycle top indicator, you can see here we're getting very, very close. It's narrowing. And if you look at current trends, you know, we're trying to, we're working our way up. Now, resistance is at 57,847. I do believe we're likely going to break above that. I think there's a lot of potential for us to break above that this week. I still believe we're going to break above 60,000 this week, and come Friday we're going to top out. This is just what I think. All right. But there's a chance, in my opinion, we could hit somewhere around the $62,000 range, and then we get hit with a 40% drop, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. 39.23% drop from a basically an end of the week peak of around 62,000 brings us down to around 38 grand. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we have not had a significant Bitcoin drop yet. We have not had that big whammy pullback. It's just been in pretty much a steady incline throughout this entire bull market. We have not seen any significant pullbacks yet. Little ones, lots of little ones, and then we go higher. But this is what I see as being very likely, because I think that a lot of people now are watching this pi cycle top indicator. They're watching Bitcoin's price. I think we're going to get a bit of a rally past 62,000, and then we're going to peak out at the end of the week, and then we're going to start a very big pullback that might last a couple weeks. Now, furthermore, if we look at the price of Cardano, you can see we got a significant upswell into like $1.50. We got a very significant pullback, and let me see, what did we hold on a second, let me see what we pulled back to. Where is my, here it is. No, what the hell, where's my tools, where are my tools at? There we go. All right, so from the peak of this all the way down here, that's 28.94%. It's a 28.94% pullback from the peak of Cardano, basically reaching its all-time high, its new all-time high. And so the thing of it is while we're looking at that, what else are we seeing? Well, if we compare this to the price action of Ethereum back in the 2017 bull market, you can see that we've been emulating Ethereum's price action very, very closely. If you look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I started comparing these all the way back here. This is a 4-hour chart, folks. So, you know, when you're looking at this, I started doing this back here because I was kind of testing it. And then I started, and I said, okay, I'm going to do a video on this because this is just not budging. It's mimicking Ethereum's price action of 2017 almost identically. And it still is. You see these peaks. Look at this. It's still mimicking the price action. Look, we had a lull. We started to climb up, and then we climbed up for, I mean, it's almost identical. You could see it in the freaking candles. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this. Now, I said that the price could potentially go down to 60 something cents. That didn't happen, but we still, but I didn't calculate all that. That's just based on exactly like the differences in market cap, price of the token, volume, so forth and so on. But the overall price movement has been virtually identical. Look at this. This is Ethereum. We can zoom in on this so you can see just how close it is. Look at here are the candles, right? We had this upswell. We went and just gently moved up here. Look at this. Identical, folks. And then we got another pump. And then after that pump, we got a drop. And then you can see the candles changing almost in tune to Ethereum. Look at that. I mean, you could anyway, so I basically said, listen, this is what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Well, why do I think that's still going to happen with Bitcoin? Well, because if you look at the price here, while we're in a bit of an accumulation phase, which you can see even with Ethereum, we did the same thing in 2017 before we got another significant pullback. Now, this is generally off by about a day, like in terms of the time differences in price action. So this might not start exactly, but if we were to look at what's happening or what happened with Ethereum around the same time in the last bull cycle, we got a very big drop. So if we were to follow this down, we could see, you know, now generally what we're seeing is the prices aren't as drastic with Cardano's price fluctuations, especially considering the fact that we already peaked out, we hit a new all-time high, we dropped from there, we followed Ethereum's pattern for basically the past couple weeks, and here we are ready for another dip before we hit into April where everything just takes off, right? Well, if this is the first peak of a two-peak cycle that mimics very similarly what happened in 2013, then we can expect Cardano to likely go down some more as well. It doesn't have to, doesn't mean it's going to, but if there's any correlation to what Cardano does with Bitcoin, then that's likely what we're going to see. And I do believe we're going to start moving up. We're going to peak up. Ethereum could hit $2,000 maybe by the end of this week before we peak out for the first time and hit a significant drop, at which point that drops even further. I call it how I see it. You don't have to like it. You can say it's all FUD, but it is what it is. And that's just, I don't know. It's not going to be a fun couple of weeks, but this is what I believe. And this is ultimately what I'll leave you with. I don't really care. I'm only doing this for you. I'm only doing this to share my thoughts. What do I know? I know I'm not trading any of it. I'm holding long term because anything could happen. Anything could change at any moment of any day, whether it's a news article, some sort of press release that sends everybody in a scurry. You never know. For better or worse, I'm holding long term because I believe in the overall outcome of all crypto by the peak of this market. And on top of that, I've been holding the majority of what I have a long time. Okay, I have been accumulating for years for the most part. I've sold some, but for the most part, I've been accumulating a long time. I'm not trying to create or reset the clock on any capital gains. I'm just not. Let's say the price pulls back 40%. I sell at the peak, or let's just say I sell now because I think it's going to continue going down. I buy back in. So I sold some at a loss, fine, but I start the clock on a new taxable event, which means if I cash out from here within a year, then I could be hit with much more significant capital gains taxes. Why would I do that? Because it just doesn't make much sense. How much more Cardano do I actually stand to gain if what I think may play out actually does play out? And if I did gain more Cardano, fine, but at what cost? Because if I'm taking a pretty big risk that what I'm saying is accurate, and then on top of that, I'm basically resetting the clock on my capital gains for the entire lot. So it's just, to me, I'm much more about, listen, if you believe this is going somewhere, do what you need to do for yourself and your family, but I'm holding, and that's all there is to it. I'm not letting any of this stuff shake me out. Right now, if I'm in a position to hold long, I'm holding long. I'm only selling what I need to cover expenses, to do what I need to do in life. Outside of that, I'm an investor, long and strong. Wow, that didn't sound right. You get my point. So many people don't even think about capital gains until it's too late. And trust me, I've been hit with that stick. I've been hit with the tax man stick. And, I've been preparing for this cycle because, for a couple years, I didn't make shit, really. And this year I expect to do pretty well. And so I've been kind of planning for it. And I know, like, if I cash out any significant sum, I need to put some aside. And I need to make sure I have enough in reserve to make sure I can pay that tax bill when it comes due, rather than having to scurry around and go crazy and figure out, like, do I need to sell this car now? Do I need to take out a home equity line so I can afford to pay the tax man for shit I wasn't even expecting to have to pay? And it just completely wrecked me for a while. Like in a big way. I was an emotional mess for a minute because I'm like, oh my God, we had to make payments for a little while. I mean, it was crazy. So if you're not considering what the tax man cometh means, you're doing yourself a disservice. So Crow, long and strong. Oh, here we go with the memes now. Oh man, you guys are really, yeah, nobody misses anything in this chat. All right, so that's ultimately what I think is going to happen. Good news with Tesla. You can buy Tesla with Bitcoin. They're not going to sell it into USD. That's all fine. Again, we need to reach a point where the adoption isn't just about accepting cryptocurrency while they trade it back into fiat on the fly, creating our own sell pressure through this so-called adoption. We need companies to start transacting and interacting with each other with the crypto they're accumulating from the sales. That is when we start really getting big. That's when the momentum really starts to build and adoption